Circuit line generator. The circuit line generator is a specialized add-on designed for creating circuit board style lines in Blender. Let me show you how to use it. Open Blender. I'm using version 5.0 here. Go to the Edit menu, click Preferences, then navigate to the Add-ons panel. Click Install from Disk in the top right corner. Select the Circuit Line Gen add-on file and click Install. You'll now see the add-on in the sidebar. At this point, just click Generate, and it will create circuit traces based on the current parameters. If you're not happy with the current traces, you can click Generate again. Since we've checked Random Seed and Clear Previous above, it will use a new seed and delete the previous traces each time. If you uncheck Clear Previous, it will keep all the traces generated each time. Let's go over the other parameters. Up here, grid width and grid height control the area where the traces are generated. For example, 160 and 160 mean the area is 160 times 160 units. Chip size is the side length of the square space in the middle. Below that, chip walkers refers to how many points are emitted from the center. However, there's actually an upper limit here, 4 times the chip size. For instance, if the chip size is 20, the maximum number of points emitted from the center is 20 times 4 equals 80. Setting it higher than 80 won't work. Random walkers are the number of randomly scattered points around. These points don't start in the middle square. They're randomly distributed and form paths according to the rules. Max steps is the maximum number of steps a point can take. This parameter determines the length of each line. Initial straight means a point will move straight first. Then decide how to turn after the 8th step. If I set it to 2, the lines will start to turn very early on at the beginning. If I set it to 18, the lines will remain straight for the first 18 steps before determining how to turn. Allow diagonal controls whether diagonal movement is permitted. If unchecked, points will only make right-angle turns. The 90-degree turn chance below is the probability of particles making a right-angle turn when Allow Diagonal is checked. By adjusting these parameters, you can get an infinite number of circuit trace patterns. The Go button at the bottom applies a visual preset to the lines, which is a Geometry Nodes preset. Clicking it will add stylized solid traces to the paths. Switch to Render mode. Eevee is the default renderer. Hit play, you might not see a clear animation effect. Turn off the temporal reprojection option and play again. Now, you can see the trace growth animation and small points flowing along the traces. You can find parameters to adjust this animation in the modifiers panel, including controls for the traces and the points. Here, start frame and end frame mean the trace growth animation starts at frame 0 and ends at frame 25. Resolution is the number of segments in the trace's cross-section, and radius is the trace width. Below that are the emission color, strength, and opacity. Then there are the point controls, point density, radius, random radius, flow speed, and speed randomness. There are also settings for the point's emission color, strength, and opacity. Of course, this is just a simple preset for trace animations. You don't have to use it. With these traces, I'm sure you can create the exact effect you need. Alright, that's the introduction to the Circuit Line Generator add-on. You can get it from the link in the video description below. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.